Welcome, everybody, to the Seven Sisters Pubcast here at Seven Sisters in Toulouse. My name's Paul, and I'm joined today by my lovely woman, Bianca.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Fine.
Yeah?
Yeah, thank you for having me.
It's great to have you on. I've brought you up a couple of times on the pubcast already.
Is it?
I knew you'd say that. So what that proves is that you haven't watched a single episode.
I have not.
No.
But I've been there when you've been editing, and I'm supportive in many other ways.
Yeah, okay. But you've not watched any episodes of the podcast. It's fine.
But you should.
Yeah. Just a bit of housekeeping, I think is the term. This is coming out a bit later than normal. We've moved it. What we're going to do is going to have every episode first of the month rather than like the week before the end of the month. Now it's going to be first of every month, maybe a little bit more condensed. And then that's it. Yeah, that's the housekeeping out of the way.
It's very much in the early days, testing.
Yeah.
Testing formats, testing things.
So anyway, I brought you on today, Bianca.
We haven't
You're
done
a bit
cheers.
Oh yeah, sorry.
So, hang on, I'm a bit of a what?
You're a bit of a
Like the end of that sentence.
podcast
Oh, yeah.
file. Pod file.
I am a bit of a podphile. Sorry, podophile.
Podophile.
Yeah, listen to a lot of podcasts, watch a lot of podcasts,
Yeah.
act like I know about podcasts.
Do you have a favourite? Any recommendations to the listeners?
I mean, currently, as you know, around the house, been listening to a lot of Dish by Waitrose.
Waitrose
By
is
Waitrose.
an upmarket supermarket in the UK. For those of you who are not familiar with Waitrose,
It's not really relevant, but they sponsor a podcast presented by Nick Grimshaw and Angela Hartnett. Angela Hartnett being my ultimate idol at the moment. I'm obsessed with
she's
her.
an Arsenal fan, though.
She is an Arsenal fan, but it's not a deal breaker for me.
Yeah.
So they talk about food. I love a food podcast. We're going to be sampling some food in a moment.
We have got that's going to be that's the theme of today's podcast, really. Scotch eggs and anger issues. What I'm going to do is I'm going to find the video. We're going to watch this video. I wanted to discuss this on the podcast with Bianca because it's quite not
Telling.
It's telling, yeah. Not worrying.
No,
it's
it's
telling.
not worrying.
If you bear with me for a second, I should have had this prepared. I will edit this out.
So I'm trying not to glug on the microphone. Anyway, a food podcast. I love a comedy podcast, mainly US, more New York comics. Shout out to Tuesdays with Stories, Mark Normand and Joe List. The Regs / You Know What Dude, Bobby Kelly. UK off-menu podcast, obviously, Ed Gamble and James Acaster. But there are many. I like, to be honest, music I listen to less than podcasts nowadays.
I have noticed that she's more of a podcast kind of person. I can't do that. I can't, especially as that you can't close YouTube and do other things unless you pay for YouTube.
I ain't paying for YouTube.
You've got to leave it open.
But I'm not listening to stuff on YouTube either, really. You're more of a YouTube guy than I am.
I'm more of we've discussed it many times on here, more of a flat earth,
Oh, yeah.
true crime YouTube enthusiast. Huh? No reaction to my joke.
Yeah.
Did you hear it?
No, I heard it. I can't abide the flat earth content. I know you're not, by the way, important to say, you're not a flat earther.
No.
You're fascinated by the culture, but it's just so infuriating and boring.
It's come up too often on this podcast as well.
Also, I don't understand like physics and the world, so it bores me.
Anyway, but look, I found this video. So what I'm going to do is just play this to you now.
It's going to be on the screen.
We're obviously going to share this on the screen. I'm going to pull it up here, and so everyone can watch this.
How embarrassing this
We're
is.
just going to play it through first of all. So here it is.
So you're seeing what we're seeing now.
So it's me. This is in the pub. It's a few months ago.
It's the voyeuristic. It's the voyeuristic nature of the CCTV as well, which adds to the comedy.
And then he's off. Right.
Because
okay,
you
so
think you're alone and that no one can see this.
So we're going to break this video down a little bit. So what we got here is me unpacking some new stools that we bought for the outside seating area here at the pub.
Great new stools. Stackable.
And they've obviously come stacked. Lots of polystyrene and kind of protective paper to stop them from scratching each other, etc. But I've obviously got annoyed with them. They weren't doing what I wanted them to do. And so I got angry and kicked the cardboard box away.
Not just any kick. There's a run-up. There's a bit of momentum behind it. I imagine there was a bit of a growl, like a bit of a noise.
Probably. I don't know if you can see
grunt
on the screen at home, but here, if I pause it there, that's quite a sweaty back I've got.
You've been struggling
I've
for
been
a while.
struggling with for a while. But what we need to break down before we get to the kicking of the box, which is by far the most embarrassing part of the video, the technique that I'm using to try and pull these stools apart is
nonsensical,
fucking ridiculous. It really, really is. Like I think I am more embarrassed by that because hang on, he's just about to wind up and kick it again. Let's just pull it back again. So
you're not even showing it to me anymore. You're just watching it on your phone.
Let's take it from this angle here. I'm trying to pull. Let me just put that down. I'm trying to. What I think we can all agree is that you're supposed to have the stools stood upright. Put one foot on the bottom one
for leverage,
and pull the top one off. Right, that's where we're saying that's the best technique. Foot on the bottom one, pull the top one off. But I'm trying to use my superhuman strength to prise them apart. It's so
silly.
It's just there's no logic to it whatsoever.
Well, yeah, but that then it does explain the disproportionate rage. But you do this, though.
I don't think it's disproportionate.
Well,
I think
it
that's
is
very well warranted.
It's warranted given the stupid technique that you're using. But it's disproportionate in terms of like relative normal behavior.
Yeah. What I want this video to do is to raise awareness as well, more than anything. To anyone out there who is prone to getting angry in this sort of way and lashing out at inanimate objects, I just want to point out that I know for a fact in my head, we're just going to watch me kick the box again. Here we go. So he's struggling with the chairs. They're not. Look at that technique. Why is he doing that?
Here we go.
And then, fuck off. Look at him, so happy, so pleased with himself. Look, you can see the sweat on my back there. The point I'm trying to make is, in my head at the time, whilst seeing red, like the red mist descends around here. And then I take a run up and go for a kick. In my head, I'm thinking, very manly. I'm very alpha male right now, like kicking this box, like showing who's boss. But when you watch yourself back doing it, and let's watch it again, it's so pathetic.
It's an empty cardboard box.
It's an empty cardboard.
But there is something to be said. Obviously, you're a sweetheart. Even when you did used to drink. You were never a leery or angry drunk. You don't have that kind of bone in your body. But all the rage that a human could have, you channel into inanimate objects.
Yeah.
And road rage, which we also need to address. The road rage is equally as stressful to be around.
No, but the road rage is more...
arguably also against inanimate objects, which is, oh my God, other cars.
No, but I think road rage is more commonplace, though, isn't it?
It is, but it's also very unpleasant to be around. This is my side of this, is what is it like living with this man? And
but let's just watch this kick again, sorry.
Yeah, please.
Oh, you bastard.
It's just the fact it's empty as well as so light that it just flies away.
But I'll tell you what, it's made me think about in the future never doing that again because of how much.
Well, hang on, we haven't finished the
idiot
story.
I look like. Yeah, go on.
Ivan arrived. And what did Ivan do?
I don't know. What do you mean?
That he showed you.
Oh no, I eventually got them apart.
Oh, okay.
I did eventually do it. Still using that same technique, I might add. I struggled for a long time. I didn't use the correct technique of putting a foot on it and putting the top one off. I persevered with the trying to pull one towards me whilst pushing the other one away. It was insane.
But then Ivan, what did Ivan do? You said that Ivan showed you.
I think
this is getting boring.
Yeah.
I feel like this is getting boring.
Well, no, he came in and he described the technique that I should have used. But anyway, the road rage thing is, well, it's funny. I saw a video of that yesterday. A reel on Instagram. A guy's talking about when I'm walking around, when you're walking and you accidentally bump into someone, or you're like, oh, sorry, oh, after you. Oh, please allow me. Blah, blah, blah. You're very polite when you're walking around, but as soon as you're behind the wheel of a car, it's everyone else is a wanker.
My good friend Helen Hale, shout out to you, listening from Bristol, probably not. She's a busy lady. We had this conversation once, I'll always remember, because we talked about road rage, and she said, this fly is really annoying me. She said, the reason why, and then I read this somewhere else, the reason why people feel permitted to be so aggy in the car is because you know that there is a human driving that car, but really all you're seeing is this shell, and it's just this big metal kind of thing that you're getting annoyed at. Yeah. But you don't think about the person, because if it was just, like you said, if it was a person, you would never be like effing and jeffing and like,
because you've got the protection,
screaming at them. Yeah, you're invincible and they can't hear you.
Yeah.
And it's also, in a sense, an inanimate object. But I actually don't get road rage. I get really, really stressy about things, and I make it quite difficult to be around when I get really, really overwhelmed by
you must get angry
basic
at other
tasks.
people driving though, because
Sure, but never to the point of swearing, screaming.
I don't scream.
The volume.
Oh come on! Now this is all.
It's
Unbelievable what she's
rage. It's
saying.
pure rage, and I'm just kind of like, oh, fuck's sake! Like, okay, yes, out you come, and I'm a bit like, ugh, but I'm not like screaming.
You think I scream?
Yeah, you do.
I don't
You
scream.
definitely, you're like fucking, and like the
I will
swearing,
use-
the profanity.
Yeah, I
is
do use very
through the
very
roof.
foul language.
But would you rather be with someone who's screaming at you and other people, or the box,
The empty,
the
cardboard
iron,
box.
the iron, and the ironing board is also.
Because I was.
It makes me really stressed out to be around when you're screaming like that. But
You're making me sound terrible.
no, I just said it's only against the inanimate objects.
I will say this though, I have improved greatly, because that box, kicking that box, is the first time I've done that for a long time. Because when I was younger, I have done that a few times. Like I got angry and I smashed my Walkman to pieces.
And they're
My tape.
sturdy.
This was late 1990s.
It was thick plastic.
I got one of those, like a Sony Walkman.
Discman.
No, tape.
Oh, sorry,
cassette player.
Cassette, yeah, nice.
It was so advanced that when you could fast forward it between tracks, and it recognised when there was no sound. Do you know what I mean? Like it recognises when there was a gaps between songs on a tape. It was that kind of technology.
And you
Really.
smashed it.
And I got angry
You smashed it on the floor.
and I stabbed it several times
Stabbed.
with a screwdriver.
Stabbed.
Yeah.
That's normal.
And
That's
I
a
felt-
normal thing to do.
Yeah, and I felt better for, I felt better immediately.
Of course.
But then,
It's cathartic to smash things, but
I've got a
now you have no Walkman.
a £100 Walkman that doesn't work anymore.
I think you and I would really have a lot of fun in a rage room, those smash rooms. There's a reason why they exist and they're really popular and trendy nowadays, is because people want to smash stuff,
Yeah.
But you can't in normal society
You can.
smash things.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, but they're your possessions, or you look like a fucking nutcase. So you
Yeah.
want to go to a place that's designed for that.
Just take just buy a sledgehammer, take it to a skip, find a skip, and just take things out, or climb into the skip.
That's the behaviour of a crazy person.
Climb into the skip.
Who's doing that? No. Everyone has the urge in them to smash things. It's like that. Someone once told me about the imp of the perverse is the name, and it's that inner voice telling you to smash something, or like it's your intrusive thought kind of.
Oh, excuse me. I know what you mean. Yeah, when there's someone walking with a tray of beers, and you think to yourself, I could just.
Yeah, or like if you see like a perfect table set with like perfect dinner spread, and you just want to like
do a shit on it.
Well.
Yes. Smash it to bits. I know, I get that. Yeah, but you've got to. That's where you kind of that separates the serial killers from the normal people, isn't it? Like, do you act on that? Do you get angry, or not?
It's normal to get angry, and a lot of people get road rage in this thing. But it was just you really wanted to unpack this, if you will. The unpacking video on. What does it mean?
I don't know. But
about your psyche.
Let's watch it once more. Just terrible.
Rage building. Rage.
You can see the sweat. And look how far I kicked it as well.
An empty box.
It's gone at least 3 meters, and then just walk it off. You see, I mean, I didn't say this to Ivan, but it's lucky that it was that option that I chose to kick the cardboard box.
As opposed to...
Well, because 10, 15 years, maybe more 15, 20 years ago, that would have been... I would have thrown the chairs across the room. And it would have smashed something, would have broken something. Yeah. Quite pathetic, really.
It was just interesting, because I think people who know you would never assume that you would have that side of you. Because you're such a, like, gentle giant, aren't you?
Yeah.
But you actually are a bit of a nut job.
No. I have improved greatly.
Has stopping drinking helped?
Yeah, probably.
Let's talk about that.
Well, no.
Were you more leery against inanimate objects when you drank?
It'd be like you said, when I was drunk, I wasn't a leery person. I might have been a bit of a dickhead at some point. Yeah. Very argumentative. Very much, I think you'll find that I'm right.
That's still the case. That's still.
But I've discussed this exact thing on this pubcast about conversations like that, because you get annoyed when
me.
Yeah, because you get annoyed when I get my phone out to Google something, and but I'm just like, well, we need to have. You think it's this, I think it's that. Let's find out what the correct answer is. It's not necessarily I want to prove I'm right. It's let's find out who is right.
That's not what is annoying. I get annoyed when you get your phone out when we're watching stuff. And you know that this is the thing where we're watching a movie or something, and then you start to Google the cast. Yeah. And then you start to Google...
she was married to...
Exactly, the rabbit hole of everything. And then you're missing the whole film, and you're just reading about the cast, which I know other people do. But the Googling of the information, there is also something to be said about the discussion and the debate. Like, it's true now, there's no more like, yeah, but what if this? Yeah, but that. It's like, no, let's just find out the truth, and then that's it.
I'd just like to bring up one thing whilst we're on this subject, because we were watching something the other day, and the word throttle was mentioned, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was. Yeah.
Throttle. Was that THROTTLE? I'll bring it up.
To throttle.
To throttle something. And what was your argument? You said it was to hit.
I thought it meant just to like beat the shit out of.
Yeah, basically. And I said no, it's to
like I'll throttle you.
I'll throttle you or strangle you. And so you Googled it, didn't you, darling?
Yep.
And then
went very quiet.
And then went very quiet, and I hadn't really cottoned onto it. And it wasn't a few minutes went by, and I just thought, oh, hang on, she was Googling throttle.
If I found out I was wrong, I'm not then just going to be like, oh yeah, you were right. I mean, I could, but I didn't want to.
I would though.
I didn't fancy.
I would do that. No, I would be like, oh look, you are right. I stand corrected, said the man in the orthopaedic shoes.
You love that one, don't you?
Alan Partridge.
Yeah, I went quiet, and because you were right and I was wrong, and I'm only human, and I had a moment of, fuck's sake, it does mean to strangle.
Yes, but I
just thought we'd breeze past it. I thought that you would forget, to be
No.
honest. And then you were like, wait, did you ever?
Yeah, so what did throttle mean in the end? What did Google come back with? I would just like to say that I would definitely would hold my hands up and be like,
I feel like this
You was
episode
right.
is turning into airing our grievances with each other.
but then that's good entertainment, isn't it? That's what
Do
people
you?
want to
Is
see.
this what the people want? Because we're really trying to get this pubcast off the ground. So if you want us to just have a go at each other for the duration, then we can.
Can do. Anyway, that Scotch egg is kind of
Sorry, I got
staring
so excited.
at me from over there.
There is a Scotch egg,
just off the camera here. There's
but
a
we're
Scotch
gonna.
egg.
This is very like Sunday brunch. I'm gonna just bring over something I prepared. It's a hard boil. You would normally want a runny yolk, but let us know in the comments, how do you like your Scotch egg?
Yeah.
This is sort of picnic style. It's cold, a hard yolk, and easy to sort of on the go,
I'm just kind of just staring at the Scotch egg now. Go on. May I?
Please. Is it cooked?
How does it look?
Does it look cooked? Or this is the second batch I've ever made in my
You
life.
see?
A saucisse de Toulouse. It is okay for it to be a bit pink
It looks
in
right.
the middle. So,
Well,
cheers.
if there isn't an episode, I don't know what episode this is. I think this is 10. No, this is 9, I think. If there isn't an episode 10, or if I'm not in episode 10, start to be worried.
Why? Oh,
Because I've died from...
I'm going to die. It's fine. Sorry, I'm gross. But a British picnic favourite,
It's just one of those things that the humble egg
The
and the delicious sausage they just go hand in hand quite perfectly. And then when you bread that and fry it, good God.
I mean, you can tart it up with black pudding. You could do a black pudding Scotch egg. You could do mini with like a quail's egg. You can tart up your breadcrumbs a bit. This is just very basic, but it's the second batch I've ever made in my life.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Turned out all right. But yeah, if you want it on a plate, like with a knife and fork, you probably want the yolk to be a bit runnier. But handheld, you're at a picnic, you're at a barbecue, you're at a standing up event.
It is.
You want it to be a bit more solid. It's pretty good.
I think I'm gonna go out on a limb, and say that I prefer Scotch eggs like that. I prefer a bit more of a handheld, on the move. Get a Scotch egg in your pocket when you're out and about.
Yeah, but a runny yolk. Oh God, a runny yolk.
Yeah, a runny yolk has its place, but not in a Scotch egg for me. Maybe a little bit runnier than that, but like not rock solid. But
Well,
great seasoning, by the way.
thanks.
Seasoned
Seasoned to perfection.
to perfection.
Let's talk about this in the context of the Seven Sisters menu, because this is also what I'm trying to, what's the word? Muscle my way in on.
Yeah, Bianca's muscling her way in, but it's fine because you're a very talented chef. You are, you do know what you're doing in the kitchen. Very, very talented, I would say.
Oh, thanks.
So proud of you, darling,
Oh,
of what you could achieve in the kitchen.
I'm passionate about it.
She
Extremely
loves-
passionate.
loves it,
Let
yeah.
us know what you would like to hear for the 4 people who listen to this and watch this. Like, do you want more of us rambling at each other? Do you want themed episodes like your Shawnee Lego ASMR Moose talk about music?
Yeah. Nudity. Do you want more nudity?
Full frontal. Get your willy out.
Yeah, could do. But yeah, that's just good. Yeah, we need some more suggestions. We're going to try and shorten the episodes a little bit, I think, maybe as well. Try and compact it down a little bit. Compact and muscular. Like corned beef. That's Garth Marenghi.
Like shorter but more frequent, maybe. Like people could
send us in your suggestions.
Like and subscribe.
Seven Sisters Pub is our Facebook and Instagram. Our YouTube channel. Well, you're already here if you're watching this, so welcome to our YouTube channel. Please subscribe as well.
Also, come down.
About it. Yeah, come down to the pub, 26 Rue Raymond Quatre, Raymond IV, who I still haven't looked into. I run a business on a road that's named after Raymond IV.
I suppose none of us have.
I'm not sure who he is. So I'm going to look into that. It's something local. I think he was like not a mayor, but it's something local.
This is embarrassing.
Toulouse.
We've been in Toulouse for many years. We should know.
But anyway, again, like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Come down to the pub. Say hello to me. Say hello to Bianca. Say hello to Ivan. Say hello to everyone.
I'm here sometimes.
She is down here sometimes. And we shall see you very soon. Bye-bye. Love you. Bye.
Sorry if I was annoying. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah.